King Charles's touching nod to late Queen, as he jokes about German beer house trips. The king recalled happy times sampling Bavarian sausages and waltzing in beerhouses as he returned to Germany for the first time as monarch. Charles kicked off his inaugural state visit sharing jokes with locals and delighting his hosts with a rip-roaring speech where said his 40 trips to our near neighbors showed just how long I have been around. The king and queen consort, who wowed in a glittering diamond tiara for a state banquet in the royals' honor, touched down in Berlin shortly after 2 p.m. to a warm welcome following a hastily rearranged schedule when the royals' trip to France was cancelled over safety fears. Charles and Camilla were greeted by a 21-gun salute and a fly-past by 2 fighter jets after they emerged from the RAF Voyager. As a mark of respect, 2 Typhoon jets escorted the plane carrying the king and queen consort and their entourage as it approached Berlin-Brandenburg Government Airport. In his address as guest of honor at Berlin's presidential palace, Charles said, "First thank, Mr. President, of the particular kindness and friendship which you and Frau Budenbender showed to both my wife and myself on our last visits to Berlin in 2019 and 2020. I also think fondly of the time my wife and I sampled Bavarian sausages at a farmer's market in Munich, and found ourselves drinking beer and waltzing around at the Hofbräuhaus. I can understand why Saint Boniface, an English monk, who is famous for having preached in Germany, is also a patron saint of brewers." As fate would have it, the king's rearranged trip resulted in his first state visit mirroring the late queen's last, with a visit to the German capital in 2015. Charles added how the bond between the UK and Germany was a friendship which mattered greatly to my mother. Thanking his hosts for their condolences following her death last September aged 96, he said, "The late Queen cared deeply about the bond between our 2 countries. I did want to thank you all, once again, for the profoundly touching messages of support and affection we received from so many people in Germany following the sadness of her death last year. Ladies and gentlemen, your kindness meant more to my family and myself than I can possibly express." During their 3 days in the country, Charles and Camilla will visit political leaders, sustainability projects and refugee centers.